I'm Harmeet Sehgal, Managing Director of New Zealand Travel Trade, and we are on board the magnificent and brand new AmaSofia on the AmaWaterways River of Rewards Mega Famil. This is a one-of-its-kind full ship charter for travel advisors only from Australia and New Zealand. This is a classic 7-day cruise from Budapest to Vilsofen. Due to the current heat wave that's hitting Central Europe, we could not board the ship in Budapest due to very low water levels on the Danube downriver. We've had to board it in Melk in Austria. Now, AmaWaterways have been excellent in managing this disruption, and they have exceeded the expectations of travel advisors on board. I had the opportunity of catching up with Steve Richards on the ship, who is the Managing Director of AmaWaterways for Australia and New Zealand, to talk more. Steve, thanks for joining me on the camera today.
Thank you so much for coming along. We really appreciate your time and hope you're having a wonderful experience.
Oh, it is a very good experience so far on the brand new AmaSofia.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, it's been a long time in the making.
Yep.
And when we all landed in Budapest, we were expecting a nice big boat to wait for us, but obviously things were not to happen that way because of the low rivers and the current heat wave that's been hitting Central Europe.
Yeah.
But Ama was just great. I mean, the way you guys managed the whole show was just so good. Talk us through some of those things that you do.
Yeah, thanks, Harmeet. I mean, it was obviously disappointing to arrive in Budapest and the ship couldn't be there due to the low water. It's the lowest water they've ever experienced in a generation, so it was quite a dramatic situation. But we took it as an opportunity, a positive opportunity to show the travel agent community how AmaWaterways handles these situations, because it can also be high water situations as well. And the greatest thing that we pride ourselves on is we don't cancel. We do not cancel. And I think that really means a lot to the travel agent, particularly, you know, the river cruise often is an element of a bigger holiday experience in Europe. So for something like it to cancel in the middle of all these other travel components would cause major disruption to the client's experience and put the travel agent in a lot of work to try and rectify that. So by saying we don't cancel, we adapt, and that's what we've shown you guys here. We've adapted. We overnighted in a beautiful hotel in Budapest, the Dorothea, in the autograph collection, and then we coached everybody to Bratislava, had a lovely walk-in tour of the coronation city there, and then we coached up here, up to Melk in Austria, where the ship was waiting, and the water levels could get us as close as we could there. And so we've been, for the rest of the 6 nights, we're going to be on board and unpacking once again and having a great cruise experience.
Yes, and look, travel agents have spoken so highly about this, and this goes to tell that if you can look after your travel advisor so well, how good would AmaWaterways look after their guests? Now with the advisors, obviously, it was a long time in the making.
2 years.
2 years in the making, and usually, you know, these kind of top families are reserved for top sellers, but AmaWaterways have done this in such a transparent and an open manner. We're seeing a lot of younger skew of travel agents coming here, which basically tells us that the pipeline is open. If you want to be a luxury travel agent, you want to sell luxury product, you know, the world's your field. Tell us through the process of you guys. How did you guys select, and what was the process?
Yeah, well, we wanted to do it 2 ways, Harmeet. We wanted to reward, obviously, bookings, because that, you know, sales is great for both the travel agent and for us. But we also knew that as we were a new brand, we couldn't rely totally on agents being able to book us if they hadn't learnt about the product or trained themselves or promoted the product as well. So we had the other element of the opportunity to win yourself on board here was by promoting us to your database, to your clients, by doing the Ama Academy, you know, so educating yourself, learning all the USPs about Ama and how to sell Ama, and they earned points. And they came on as well. So there's a mixture of agents that did make some great sales, and of course they also did engagement as well. And then those that actually didn't make any bookings, but purely got on through engagement. And the great thing is that they actually have made bookings since that incentive ended, before they've come on board, because that process actually worked, where they had the confidence to be able to sell. Their promotions to their clients in market did work as well. And this created a bit of a skew, like you said, in you know, agents from New Zealand across all different consortia groups, all different brands, and ages as well. I mean, age doesn't discriminate when it comes to luxury. I mean, there's luxury clients in all the demographics and markets of New Zealand, and all the different brands can sell into luxury. So we've got a lot of 20-year-olds on board, right up to the traditional baby boomer agent, which is like the kind of more like the client age as well, and they're plus ones and all that as well.
Yes, plus one's my next question, which is so nice is when the first flyers went out, when you guys made the announcement and said, we're getting you on board plus one, which means that the agents have got an opportunity to get someone they love.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
they've never, taken so far on a river ship.
Yeah.
Now that also gives AmaWaterways an excellent opportunity in terms of marketing, because what it does is basically it brings a consumer perspective in there too.
Yeah.
So the advisors obviously live and breathe the product, but their plus ones are the ones who actually go and speak to their colleagues and will do that and say, well, this was great and this was something that was amazing. So talk us through. It's a big investment for the company as well. You're basically doubling that cost. Tell us the motivation of saying, look, we're just going to get your loved ones on board as well.
Well, Harmeet, it's good that you bring that up, and it was something that we really dabbled about when we came up with this River of Rewards concept. Was how do we execute this experience? And in the past, other companies or other experiences have been where it's just the travel agents only, and there might just be solos in their own cabin, or they get paired up. And we just thought neither of those experiences were going to be as appealing to the agent. And if we're going to get the best engagement and going to get everyone excited about wanting to come on, we thought, what better way than bringing your favourite person in the world with you? And there's actually been quite a range of different choices in their plus ones. Some have come as solo, and look, we accommodate the solos great, they'll get to experience that. Some have actually brought another travel agent friend. A lot have brought spouses, of course, husbands, wives. We've had siblings, we've had parents,
children,
best friends, children, so the older agent and their sort of 20-year-old children and all that sort of stuff. So I think there's a honeymoon agent on board or something as well. Someone's 35th wedding anniversary on board. So look, it's been wonderful. And then that's because, generally it's sold, with couples. So the agent will sell this product generally to couples or solos and that. So what better way to actually experience what your client's going to experience by going on board with, as a couple, yourself or with your best friend. So, that was really special. And I think it generated a lot more excitement to go, because I think some of them even, they're sort of put out to all their friends, who wants to come with me, and ran a little incentive amongst, some people. So it creates a lot of excitement, and I think we've seen that dynamic really come to life on board with all that. So it's been really super successful.
No, that's great. And look, doing a charter just for Australia and New Zealand, a whole charter ship. Just for travel advice is a big deal. You could do that for big markets like Asia or America, but for Australia and New Zealand, which is quite a limited market in terms of cruising, as you would compare it to America or somewhere else. So love to know what the future is for how you guys are going ahead.
Look, I think the first thing to say is, yes, it's a smaller market than the US, but it's a it's a market with great potential. And that was the first thing that the US saw in Australia, was the potential. So giving us a full ship like this and taking it out of revenue is a big deal. Like you said, it costs the company a lot of money. But there's been a 700% ROI already in what the cost of this charter has been for the company to what the agents that have got on board have made in sales. So it's already proven to be financially successful. But look, you've been 2.5 years in New Zealand and Australia, and it's been super successful. The future's bright. I mean, the business is over 25 years old, so we know how to do river cruising. We've done it for a long time, and we had a good partnership in this market previously under a separate GSA. But now we're in our own brand, and the trade have been a huge part of our strategy. Getting the trade on board, teaching them, educating them, getting them to promote us to their clients. There's two things, Harmeet, that I wanted to be my two sort of main strategies of the trade, was to be easy to do business with and be lucrative to do business with. And I figured if we could nail those two things, straight away, the trade would respond. And we've seen it. And we're going to have 50 ships by 2030. We're going to be going into new markets and building ships not only on the Danube and here and on the Rhine, which is another big popular river, but also into the exotic destinations. More ships coming into Egypt, into the Mekong, Chobe River, which is another destination like Colombia that nobody else does in Africa. So big future, exciting future.
Right, Steve, before we finish off, one last question that everybody would want to know. Are we doing this again?
I think we have to, don't we?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's been so popular. We've actually had a lot of agents say to us, please do it again. So it's a no-brainer. I have been in discussions with the US, and I've got another ship, and I've got another brand new ship. And it's going to be the Maya on the Mekong River on the 20th September to 27th September next year. So it's on again. It's going to be the second edition, taking the full ship, again, full of Australian, New Zealand travel agents. We'll run a similar sort of concept in terms of how they can get on board. Again, it'll be their favourite plus ones. So yeah, we're going from the Danube to the Mekong River on a brand new ship. So here we go.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
No worries.
And thank you for having me on the ship.
Our pleasure.
You know, and to experience the brand new AmaSofia. The service has been great, signature, and everything is nice and shiny, brand new. So
you.
all the best
Thank
to
you so much.
and the team. And yeah.
And thank you so much for your support and for all the New Zealand trade. You guys have been incredible. The support's been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Bye.
you.